Ahoj, dobré ráno. And that was about the only few words that I still know in Czech. Welcome back to Becoming a Polyglot. And today I'm going to see whether I'm able to learn Czech or the basics of Czech in just one day. Why? I want to challenge myself because learning Czech is apparently not challenging enough for me. So I woke up at 8 AM to start learning Czech and hope by the end of the day that I will be able to introduce myself or have a little conversation in Czech. Sadly, I do have to teach from 10 to 12, so therefore I woke up a bit early and I'm going to take you along with me on my day. So without further ado, let's wind back the clock to 8 AM this morning and get started with learning Czech. My day started off with a very snowy morning, so I will definitely be going for a walk later today. I started with this useful website called Luxen. I have no idea if I pronounced that right, but I will link the website down below.
Dobrý den. Dobré ráno. Dobrý den. Dobrý den.
The first chapter on this website is about how to introduce yourself in Czech, and it shows the most useful words and little phrases, and therefore I wrote it all down in my notebook.
Dobrý den.
Dobrý den.
Dobré ráno.
Dobré ráno.
Dobrý večer.
Dobrý večer.
Nashledanou.
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 Ano.
Ano.
No.
No.
Ne.
Ne.
Prosím.
Prosím.
Rok.
Šťastný a veselý.
Všechno nejlepší k narozeninám. Veselé svátky.
Veselé svátky.
Blahopřeji.
Blahopřeji. Kde jsou záchody, prosím. Kde jsou toilety, prosím. After having embarrassed myself in my worst Czech ever, I started learning on Duolingo again. So I first of all deleted my old Czech course and started all over again because I did not remember much of it. So I am in this Discord group with all kinds of language learners, and I'm also in a Facebook group with a lot of polyglots, and I'm going to write a little message to them saying that I am learning Czech today and hope that a native speaker is going to be able to help me out by the end of the day. I gotta be honest with you, once it comes down to talking to actual native speakers, I always get a bit nervous. I have a lot of French friends. Every time I speak to them in French, I get really, really nervous. Even though they are my friends, I know that they will never laugh at me or anything, but I do know that I will be learning a language much, much better when I'm speaking to native speakers. So just do it. Because, you know, it's okay to make mistakes, and that's what I tell my pupils as well. But yet here I am, learning all these languages, and feeling very, very nervous. So I just gotta listen to my inner teacher self and just try. So another source I'm going to use for learning Czech is this little book. It's in Dutch and translates to Czech. I bought this second-handed again. You know, you guys, I love thrift shopping. Can I just mention that really quick? I'm probably going to say this every time that I bought something at a thrift store. I think everything that is on here is from the thrift store. So yeah, this was about 45 cents. I mean, come on, you're not going to buy this new. I always buy things second-handed. I'm really, really happy that I saw this because honestly, if I look Czech up online, there isn't really a lot to buy or to see. I'm already lucky that I found a website besides Duolingo that teaches the beginnings of Czech language. So if you know any helpful sources to improve me in my studies, just let me know because I'm struggling with it. Okay, but I was talking about this book. I'm going to use this to write down some beginner phrases, the beginner verbs. Otherwise, I'm not able to make any sentences. So I'm going to check that out right now. So these are just some phrases that I already wrote down. I want to see whether I want to know some verbs. verbs. I just want to know the beginning. Okay, I'm going to look it up online. This book is really good for phrases and words. Okay. Back to online. I even don't know the pronouns in Czech. Should I just start with learning the pronouns in Czech? I think I need to do that.
Introducing yourself, plus the verb to be. Dialogue. Ahoj. Ahoj. Já jsem Martin a ty? Já jsem Káťa. Ty jsi Čech? No. A co chceš ty? Já jsem Zuzka.
Just pause it right here. If this is like the basic introduction, then I do not understand it and this day is not going to work out. Goodness. Okay, what am I getting myself into? Okay, sadly, it didn't film this part. I was talking to no one for about a couple of minutes, but I just learned about not to be, and I wrote that down as well. What I found out is that in Czech you have a lot of consonants just glued to each other, like the J, S, M glued to each other, and I don't really know whether I'm just pronouncing the J and then shme, for instance, or that it's really yism. Let's see. Ja nešem, te neši, ty nešes, on není, ona není, ono není, me nešme, v nešte, oni nešat. Okay, just a little side note, I just got a text message from a friend of mine who said that I inspired her to learn Mandarin. I just want to take a second right here to tell you guys that I just started with this YouTube page and Instagram, but the warm welcome this community gave me is really, really nice. And here in this language community, I am in several Discord groups and study sessions and a Facebook group. And now this text message from a friend of mine saying that I actually inspired her to start learning Mandarin. This is just insane. It makes me so happy. So thank you guys. Thank you so much for following me along, for liking my photos, even though there's not a lot of content on my Instagram, but the amount of text messages I am receiving already just makes me so happy that I started this channel in the first place. So therefore, thank you. Really, really, thank you. Okay, getting back to Czech. I've searched for 5 minutes for the verb list of to have, and I don't know why I can't find anything that's just clear. I mean, isn't there some sort of source who makes these kind of presentations, websites, I don't know, but a simple verb like to have, I know now that that is meat in Czech, if that is even correct. I can't find it like really quick. How is that possible? And also, if I do find anything, then it's all in Czech, so I don't know what I'm actually writing down. So I'm just taking a break from language learning. Got a bit fed up with some of the verbs in Czech, which I could not find or did not understand how to pronounce. There are just not a lot of Czech sources out there. Nevertheless, I will keep on studying Czech, as I made a promise to myself that I will be able to introduce myself by the end of this day. But I thought I'm just going to take a break. The sun is shining. I live close to the forest. This is about like a 2-minute walk, and then I'm in the middle of the forest. But it's about like -5 degrees. But yet I do not feel cold. Then it was time for me to eat my lunch, oats with apple. And I watched a video of The Honest Guide on YouTube, which you should really check out if you are interested in Prague or the Czech Republic in general. Okay, so we are back after I walked for a while, I had my lunch, and now we're going to dive into more verbs. I found this website which is called Languagelearning.com, and it's a site that helps you learn Czech, so that is really handy. And they've written down important verbs, so I'm just going to write the ones down that I think are useful at the moment. So yeah, let's do that. So I wrote down the verbs for to be, to do, to give, to buy, to be able to ask, and to have. Okay, this site is actually really useful, Languagelearning.com, because I just found everything that I wanted to know. It explains the full verb classes. So the first class are the words that end in AT. So that is like the word gelat. I don't know if I pronounce that right, but it's the translation for the verb to do. And the second verb class are the verbs ending in ovat or eat, like kupovat, to buy. The third class is groups of verbs ending in it or et, like prosit, to ask. And the fourth class includes verb ending in out or si, like mochi. It means to be able to. Then I went back to the first website of today because I found out that they had a chapter about your first Czech conversation. So I wrote down the sentences that I thought were useful. Okay, learning how to count from 1 to 10 in Czech. Let's go.
Jedna,
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 dva,
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 tři,
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 čtyři,
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 pět,
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 šest,
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 sedm,
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 osm,
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 devět,
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 deset,
deset.
deset.
Then it was time again for Duolingo, as I also wrote down the useful sentences and words I was learning about. Okay, I just want to cover this really quick. I went through the Czech tips on Duolingo, and it covered the different nouns, whether it's masculine, feminine, or neutral, adjectives, and demonstratives. So I wrote this down, and I wanted to show it to you. So here are the different nouns. Nouns ending in a consonant are mostly masculine. Okay, so well, that is clear. Nouns ending in A or E are mostly feminine. Nouns ending in O are almost always neutral. Nouns ending in an age or E are also often neutral. And here I have some exceptions, because there always are exceptions. The adjectives. But now I know, masculine is just dobry, and feminine it becomes an A, and neutral it becomes an E. And these are the different adjectives that Duolingo uses right now. So dobry, mali, mladý, nový, starý, and velký. And then we have the demonstratives. Czech doesn't have articles, so mladý muž could be young man, a young man, or the young man. However, they do have demonstratives like ten for masculine, ten muž, that man. Ta for feminine, ta žena. Please correct me if I did not pronounce it right. That woman. To neutral, to dítě, that child. It's really going to help me understand Duolingo much better, because I remember from last year that these were the most difficult subjects that I encountered. There's of course a kind of logic to it, so this is going to help me out a lot. Great. It's almost 5:30, so that means that I'm going to eat dinner. See you in a bit. Okay, welcome back. I just ate my dinner. It's 6:30 right now. So what I want to do is I want to give me about an hour to memorize the words and sentences that I have written down today, and then we're going to see whether I'm able to speak a bit of Czech. Hey, where did the clock go? There it is. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so my phone battery died somewhere. Nevertheless, it's 7:30, so that was 1 hour. Sadly, on such short notice, there wasn't someone available to help me out with a conversation right now. Nevertheless, I prepared a little dialogue for myself, which I will be sharing with you. This makes me just as nervous, just so you know. First of all, I practiced my words and phrases and looked at the grammar, then came up with a little story from the grammar and phrases. So I hope that it is correct. I have no idea whether I'm pronouncing it right. I've listened to Google Translate for like 15 minutes, but it goes by so incredibly fast that I'm not able to keep up. So yeah, I'm just going to try. We'll see. Okay, get ready. Ahoj, dobrý večer. Já jsem Vera a je mi 20 let. Nemluvím česky jen trochu. Odkud jsi? Jsem holandský. Ano, jsi tady. Promiňte, můžeš mi pomoci? Prosím? Chci se učit česky, ale čeština je obtížný jazyk. Chci se naučit česky na úroveň A2. Děkuji vám za pomoc. Hezký víkend a nashledanou. Oh no! Okay, so I did that. Oh no! Oh, I'm really nervous. Wait, you can probably tell I'm reading this out loud with my laptop, but I promise you that I wrote this myself. So the word for I want is chti. I'm gonna write it down here. And the first part is the C, you pronounce it as ch, and the I is just I, so it's chti. Chti. Really difficult. That is a really difficult word. And also optischni. Optischni. I really had to practice that one and still don't know whether I did that right. And then the sentence starts over again with chti. Oh, okay, but I did it. But honestly, am I able to speak Czech right now? No, I can't. No. But what I did learn from this day is the basics of Czech, and that was the goal actually. And I have to say that I do know that right now. We started off with a word list and the pronouns, numbers, useful verbs. And then we went to our first conversation, which I have written down, useful phrases. And here you can see my little conversation, which I just read out loud. So in English and in Czech. And especially the first grammatical rules, which I have learned through Duolingo, which is a surprising source to learn grammar by, but I'll take it. Like I said, I don't have a textbook. I mean, I have this little book of phrases, which I did use, by the way. I really want to have some kind of workbook, but do not want to pay like 40 euros for a Czech workbook with Spanish and Mandarin. I'm just doing one part at a time, so one day I was learning pronouns, the other day I was learning adjectives, and now I was learning them all together. But I got to admit that I do know them now. I do not know them by heart, but I can recognize them, and that's a start. I should not set these goals too high for myself. I mean, it's still gotta be fun. And it was fun today. I mean, it's now 7:40 p.m. Yeah, and I feel good. Feeling good that I did this today, that I noticed, that I'm able to understand the grammar, basic grammar right now. So I'm kind of proud. So this was my video for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a comment down below if you have any suggestions, tips, let me know anything. Or if you're learning Czech yourself, I would love to have a conversation with you perhaps next time. Don't forget to give a thumbs up and follow me on Instagram, Becoming a Polyglot. And then I'd hope to see you in the next video. Nashledanou. Bye bye.